Hello, friends. It's Mrs. Jane on Friends Day Wednesday, September the 24th, 2020, with all the fantastic news you can use about our Fantastic Four's day at school. And so, we all started with our usual check-in with Mrs. Ann, came down those stairs like the soldiers we are, came into our classroom, and started our arrival routine. That meant hanging our backpacks in our cubbies, going over and putting our folders in the take-home box, circling back to sanitize our hands, signing in, and then, friends, comes the real fun. Today, we all took a look at the job board because today our classroom job started. And so, starting at the top of the board, parents, just so that you know ahead of time before you come in, the jobs start with person of the day. And those are the people whose moms or dads or grandmas or grandpas come in to help us. And so they have, of course, the show and tell of the day. Those folks are line leaders, caboose or conductor on our Rockamotion choo-choo train. They also serve as the toy helpers to get our toys out at center time. They take off the job cards on our agenda board. So as we finish a job, they take the activity card off and put it at the bottom of our purple sign there. And then they also serve as substitutes. So if anyone else is absent and unable to fulfill their duties, the person of the day will step in. After the person of the day, of course, we have the sign-in specialist. The sign-in specialist makes sure everybody hangs that t-shirt up on the line every day. And after the sign-in specialist, we have the square setter. And that's the person that puts all of our ABC squares out for us in our Hello Circle area. After the square setter comes, of course, the pledge leaders. We have 2 of those, and those folks hold the flag as we make our daily promise to be good citizens. After the pledge leaders, of course, we have the attendance officer. Now, this is a pretty big job because you have to count those t-shirts and find out how many kids we think are with us in school, and then we look in the basket to see who didn't sign in and who might be absent. We have to do a little Sidway subtraction there to figure out how many kids should be in our room. We do a head count to verify our data. So it is a big job. After the attendance officer, of course, comes the meteorologist. And that's the person who takes a peek outside and gives us some weather words that we post on our circle board. After the meteorologist, of course, come the materials managers, and we have 2 of those. They're the ones that pass out our work papers over there at the blue chairs. And then, of course, followed by the collection agents, and those are the folks that pick up our work papers once we're finished completing them. After the collection agents, of course, come the librarian, and that's the person who supervises us as we put away all of our books in the library just before we go to snack. And then that's the person that tells us when everything is cleaned up, we have the okay to go to our snack. Excuse me. After we checking our job board today, of course, everyone headed over to the tabletops. And today, tabletop number 1, we were talking about stop and think rules again. And today we talked about our walking feet. We sang our song, the children in the classroom use walking feet, walking feet, walking feet. The children in the classroom use walking feet all day long. After we did that little song, and then the children did demonstrate their walking feet. They walked from the conductor sign all along the Rockamotion Choo-Choo to the caboose sign. And then we made 2 walking feet puppets. And of course, the foot colors were personal choice, personal preference. After our puppet, table number 2 asked us to do some sorting today of apples. And so we had yellow, green, and red. On table number 3 today, we were looking at letter A, and we were decorating it. First, we started out by coloring it with a red magic marker, and followed that with some apple stickers on top. We also had a table 4 today, and this one was a name search, and we had a highlighter pen, and we needed to highlight all the letters that spelled our name on the puzzle page. It was a way of, as Mrs. Ann says, lighting up our letters. After that, it was time for us, of course, to clean up and join on the Rockamotion Choo-Choo. Everybody got their sidecar all lined up, one behind the other, just like at that McDonald's drive-through window. And after we gave a couple of new suggestions for our A list, keep those A words coming, moms and dads. We're still working on it all week long. And then after that, we joined in the circle. We took our Rock-A-Motion choo-choo straight to circle, and then we introduced our persons of the day. Our pledge leaders for the first time came forward. We did our good morning song as usual. Our attendance officer made his first report. Our meteorologist gave the first weather report. We did a little dancing to the Little Fishy song, and then we separated into our groups. Mrs. Ann led an art activity, which today meant that we did a little tree, an apple tree. The trunk was made out of brown marker. The tree itself was made out of green paint. We dipped star cookie cutters into green paint, excuse me, and made the top of the tree. And then we added some red stickers to act as apples. On the literacy side of things, remember, still working on that letter A, we still had a lot of action to do. We started that, though, with the ABC song, and after that, that's when the action started. We all had a place, an ABC square to sit on, to wait our turn. Then, when it was your turn, you got to choose a die, an animal, yes, it does start with A, die. You rolled it, whatever number was on top. Then you came over to the number squares, and you jumped that many numbers. And then, next to that number that you stop on was a little action card. You flip it over, and that you do that action, the same number as the number you were standing on. So we got a lot of number recognition in there, we got a little counting in there, and we looked at letter A. We had actions, parents, like jumping jacks and jills, stretching, squats, marching, and I think there was a little bit of jogging too. After we finished those actions, we switched places, and the people who had been making their art project came over to literacy. The ones who had been working on their literacy lesson went over to art. After that, we took our rest in the necessary room, came over to the library for a little free read, had our snack, and proceeded to the centers. Some new fun centers today, parents. We added some vehicles. So now we have a fire engine to ride. We have a big wheel to ride. We have another little hand-operated bicycle. You have to turn the wheel back and forth to get it to go. We have a new scooter to ride on. And all of our usual bouncy balls, of course, sit and spin. We had the dollhouse out today. We had housekeeping open today. And I have to tell you, parents, you should be very, very proud of our Fantastic Fours today, because with those new vehicles, those new opportunities, everybody shared. Everybody took turns. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Yes. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you, we also have our own version of a Peloton. That was very popular. Got to work your quads there and your leg muscles. And then after our center time was finished and we put away the toys, we all adjourned to the library, and there we heard the story Chrysanthemum by Kevin Hanks, and we added another shape to our story chain. We now have 3 shapes up there, and I'll tell you, before long, that chain's going to get all the way to that exit sign, and we will be having the celebration, the likes of which you have never seen before. It's a big one. After our story, of course, we got to our goodbye circle. So one of our friends got to share his me bag with all his favorite things, and then another friend, the other person of the day, had her show and tell. We did our goodbye song, and then it concluded our day. Couple of public service announcements for you, parents. Let me read so I make sure that I get all of those straight. Okay, we're continuing with color red until Friday. Still continuing with letter A until Friday. So keep those A words coming. And then Mommy Fry tells us that our Scholastic book order is due tomorrow. And so you can take care of that online if you'd like to order some books this month. And then Mommy Suppa, our field trip coordinator, has sent home some information about our very first field trip. It's to Kelkenberg Farm, and we're asking that you would sign up and pay in advance online. The instructions on how to do that, what to do, are in a little message that came home today with the kids. That will happen on Thursday, October the 8th, and I believe the sign-up times are 10 a.m. and 10:30. So if you have any questions about that, please just textify or email or call Mommy Suppa, and she'd be more than happy to help you. Her contact information is included in the information about the field trip. And I think that just about does it for today. Remember, folks, it's always a good day to have a good day at Jack and Jill. Hope you enjoy the rest of yours. Bye now.